problem with them touting it.
Chris Lissa, and the president's re-election team is indeed touting it, not holding back when it comes to driving home the point that President Obama ordered that raid on Osama bin Laden. Here's a new video that they just put up today.
He persevered here at home and as commander-in-chief.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
The Romney campaign is calling it shameful exploitation.
This is one of the reasons President Obama has become one of the most divisive presidents in American history. He took something that was a unifying event for all Americans, and he's managed to turn it into a divisive, partisan, political attack.
Stephanie Cutter is the deputy campaign manager for the president's re-election team and joins me now from Chicago. Hey, Stephanie, you've got the video up today.
Hey,
the anniversary is tomorrow. You've been, they say, exploiting it. John McCain just hammered away. He put out a statement saying on President Obama that shame on Barack Obama for diminishing the memory of September 11th and the killing of Osama bin Laden by turning it into a cheap political attack ad. No one disputes that the president deserves credit for ordering the raid, but to politicize it this way is the height of hypocrisy. Your response?
Well, I think most Americans would disagree. It was an incredibly momentous night, almost a year ago, be a year ago tomorrow, when the president reported to the country that we got bin Laden, that he had been killed. After a decade of searching for him, we got it done. The president got it done with the help of our incredible military, our incredible intelligence officers. Everybody came together to get it done. So it absolutely will be talked about through the course of this year, because it's this president who made the tough decision, which, you know, even Chris Lissa said that it could have turned out badly. It could have been a real political hit on him if it didn't turn out well. But he made the tough decision knowing all of that because he thought it was worth, even though it was actionable intelligence, but it's never certain, but he was willing to take that 50-50 shot, and we ultimately got him. So I think most Americans would agree that it was a significant moment in this country and a significant accomplishment of this president. I also think it's worthwhile to make sure that as we're heading into this general election, just a little over 6 months to go, the American people know where Mitt Romney did stand on it. It's not exploitation, it's fact. Mitt Romney said it, we didn't say it. He said he wouldn't have gone into Pakistan to pursue bin Laden with actionable intelligence if the Pakistanis wouldn't get him. And he also said he wouldn't move heaven and earth to get bin Laden. Well, the president did move heaven and earth. It wasn't just one order. He moved heaven and earth to get bin Laden. And I think that's a distinct difference.
Stephanie, one of the things that Mitt Romney said when asked about this today on a rope line in New Hampshire, he said that even Jimmy Carter would have gone after bin Laden and ordered the hit that night. That's sort of a double hit against President Obama and also a reflection against President Carter. Your response
Jimmy
to that?
Carter. Yes, yeah, that's an incredibly gracious thing for Mitt Romney to say. I think Mitt Romney should just say, you know what, this president deserves some congratulations for making that order, and I hope I would do the same thing. Just as President Clinton said, it's the gracious thing to say at a moment like this. Unfortunately, Mitt Romney didn't take that opportunity.
The other criticism that we're hearing from Republicans, I want to give you a chance to rebut, is Eric Fernstrom and others at the Washington Post forum on President slow jamming the news. Let's watch.
The governor likes to have a laugh, just like anybody else. I do think there was something a little bit off key about the president slow jamming and appearing to make light of the fact that students are struggling. Late night is a place where you can reach people who usually aren't tuned into the political process. And we'll probably do it again, but you won't see the governor slow jamming that.
So we're not going to see Mitt Romney slow jamming the news with Jimmy Fallon.
Well, that would be an interesting thing to see. You know, I think, you know, I could only hear bits and pieces of what Eric was saying. But I do know a couple of things he did say at the Washington Post conference this weekend. He said that Mitt Romney was glad that Barack Obama followed his advice on the auto bailout by, you know, pushing the autos into bankruptcy and restructuring. Now, you know that's not true. Every American knows that's not true. true. Mitt Romney said we should let Detroit go bankrupt and not give them a lifeline. That ultimately ended up saving the companies and reigniting the most competitive auto industry in the world. That saved 1 million jobs and has created hundreds of thousands more new jobs. He also said that Mitt Romney wasn't going to put out any new policy details on his economic plans. I think that's going to be a big problem for them in this general election. I think the American people want to know exactly what he plans to do for this country. Is he going to do for America what he did for Massachusetts? If so, they should have an understanding of what that means. It means more debt, fewer jobs, manufacturing jobs leaving the state, government jobs created, taxes being raised, all of those things. So, we hope that Mitt Romney will put more details out on what he plans to do for this economy, how he plans on paying for those $5 trillion worth of tax cuts, or is he going to go back to the same policies that were pursued over the previous decade under the previous administration that drove this country into debt, turned surpluses into deficits, and ultimately destroyed the middle class. So, a couple of interesting things to note about his performance at the Washington Post this weekend.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Stephanie Cutter.
Thank you, Andrea.
And Mitt Romney is in New Hampshire today, perhaps auditioning another possible running mate. This is Kelly Ayotte.
To every